あの光
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic power-up scenes in anime history.
あいつは俺が倒す
Number 30, Shotaro Hidari and Raito Philip Sonozaki. Futo PI.
Cyclone Joker! Hellsing!
No series pulls off a legendary morphing sequence quite like Kamen Rider. In fact, the windy Cyclone Joker henshin is so clean, the only thing that could possibly be cooler is an anime version of it. Enter Futo PI. This whole scene is a fist-bumping love letter to Kamen Rider W, sealed with some flashy animation and kick-ass music. You could practically put the scenes on top of each other and not miss a thing, that's how faithful it is. Whether you're a Kamen Rider or anime fan, you have nothing to complain about here. Number 29, Issei Hyodo, High School DxD. The dude already has a dedicated harem, along with an insta-strip technique that dismantles women's clothing. Did he really need a badass set of dragon armor as well? Apparently so, and shockingly enough, it turned out pretty damn cool. It might be the biggest power fantasy you could give to a man with the moniker of Lord of Boobs, but the way in which the Breaker Booster scale mail latches onto him, the deep crimson of the armor, the overall excellent design, by itself you'd never guess something so awesome would belong to an ecchi king like Issei. Number 28, Optimus Prime, Transformers Armada. Just when you thought Optimus Prime couldn't get any more awesome, Super Mode showed that no one transforms like an Autobot. Trust us here, things really are more than meets the eye.
Transform and combine!
Rather than going all car mode on us, Optimus Prime's most powerful form sees him link up with his auxiliary trailer into a new kind of robot called Super Mode. It's twice the prime, twice the power, and occasionally comes with extra toys. Like this time, when Prime uses his ally Sparkplug like a blaster to shoot the Decepticons back to the hole they crawled out of. Number 27, Asta, Black Clover. Who needs training or limiters when you've got spunk? Asta's 100% perseverance at this point, and somehow that gumption rewarded him with one of anime's darkest boosts in strength. While it may sound odd to cheer for a hero that's literally being overcome with anti-magic, Black Asta's debut fight is so next level, it's hard to care. The high-speed animation does a lot of the heavy lifting, almost single-handedly characterizing just how ferocious and uncontrollable his new power is. Sorry Landros, anyone who bet on Black won this one in spades. Number 26, Mami, Madoka Magica. This show may be a master of subverting the genre and expectations, but that doesn't mean it doesn't know how to nail the classic tropes. After she and her young charges are caught inside a witch's labyrinth, Mami does what she does best, and brings the pain as a veteran magical girl, but not before ramping up the animation quality and suiting up. Despite the design of her outfit being far more on the simplistic side, every twirl and movement made, combined with the elegant soundtrack, elevates the whole thing, to the point where you truly believe her beret is unstoppable. Number 25, Yugi Moto, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. If you're gonna have your ancient Egyptian body double swap places with you right before a duel, you might as well do it in style. Leaping right out of his prison within the Millennium Puzzle, the pharaoh takes over Yugi's body as his own, with the only real difference being a sudden change in height and a much deeper voice to show for it.
So this is how you beat my grandfather. Well, now it's my turn.
Try not to think about the same nonsensical hair and the fact his clothes didn't stretch, and just marvel at how flashy, cheesy, and glorious it is.
Open your mind!
Number 24, Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan. There have been multiple incidences where this Survey Corps member's shift into a rampaging giant monster transcended into the realm of pure hype territory. But to our mind, nothing can compare to his fight against the Armored Titan. Following Reiner and Berthold's reveal as the traitors, Eren is overcome by both despair and rage, prompting him to bust out his Rogue Titan form and deliver one hell of a knockout punch, while he and Reiner cascade down the walls. The emotional ruination and the impact of that first punch remains staggering. Number 23, Medicine Seller, Mononoke.
承知時放つ
This nameless wanderer needs three things to exercise a spirit: their form, their truth, and their reason. Once he's got all that, the Medicine Seller's sword can officially come out to play. In what can only be described as a visual tour de force, Mononoke's off-kilter aesthetic delivers dazzling transformation after dazzling transformation. It's got breathtaking animation, glowing symbols, and more particle effects than should be legal. But in true swordsman fashion, it always ends in a single, beautiful slash. It only makes sense that someone who sells medicine knows how to bring the pain. Number 22, Gridman. Gridman. No matter how old you get, there's nothing quite like a healthy dose of nerdy nostalgia to really bring the shine to an already stellar fight. Once again taking on one of Akane's kaiju, the iconic robot takes a page out of his classic tokusatsu days by linking up with his 5 assist weapons all at once. Now in his full-powered form, Gridman is easily able to unload the monsters of the week thanks to the numerous bells and whistles now strapped onto his body. Trigger's signature flashiness channeling those days of watching Superhuman Samurai? You can't go wrong there. Number 21, Tetsuo, Akira. You know the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely? Yeah, that may as well have been written about Tetsuo. But even so, it sure is fun to watch. His latent psychic abilities manifest in the power to crush just about everything in his path, and also force him to grow into a giant mass of grotesque flesh that eventually ends up taking his life. Pros and cons, you know. It's not quite the heroic form Tetsuo wants, but seeing him succumb to his own power is one of the many things that makes Akira infinitely watchable. Number 20, Shin Get a Robo. Get a Robo Armageddon. Fittingly, this apocalyptic OVA blew up the series' old mecha transformations and replaced them with new, shinier versions. Everything all the way from the original Getter change got updated with slick new production values. But of course, the real engines of this mech are the new modes exclusive to the upgraded Shin Getter Robo. Each one is a marvel of design and animation. They're slick enough to satisfy on their own, let alone when you consider the duels they get up to. When it comes to animated mecha goodness, you won't find anything better than this. Number 19, Rimuru. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
反言の秘術死者蘇生の秘術
Even for an all-powerful, formless slime, the powers of a demon lord are no joke. But Rimuru paid that no mind and ascended the mantle with all sorts of style, also known as mass slaughter. That's right, in order to complete the ceremony, Rimuru had to feed their demon seed with 10,000 souls, and wouldn't you know it, Falmouth's full army had just marched up and knocked on Rimuru's door.
死ね神の怒りに焼き貫かれてメギド
With a single overkill spell called Megiddo, this blob officially became a demon lord. Shapeshifting or not, Rimuru will never look as cool as they did here. Number 18, Himari Takakura, Penguin Drum. To describe the madness that happens on screen when Himari puts on the penguin hat would be a lost cause, because this psychedelic fever dream has to be experienced since it blurs the line between seductive and bizarre with the slightest tint of WTF. After being possessed by the spirit inside her hat and becoming the princess of the crystal, Himari proceeds to go from good girl to latex-bound dominatrix, courtesy of a rocket that becomes a giant bear, which becomes a giant walkway. Yep, this is definitely a Kunihiko Ikuhara anime. Number 17, Akira Futo, Devilman Crybaby. Out with the beanpole, in with the beast. Starting off as a crybaby with not an ounce of machismo to his name, Akira's life goes to hell in a handbasket when he's roped into an underground club by an old friend, only for a bunch of demons to pop out and start slaughtering everyone. Normally, someone like Akira would be instant dead meat, if not for emerging with the soul of a rogue demon, leading to one of the most hellish and brutal transformations to date. Glazed in blood and a crimson light, Akira slowly shifts from man to demon, while also ripping apart everything in sight with his bare hands. Number 16, Toguro, YuYu Hakusho. It wouldn't be the finale of a tournament arc without the villains pulling out a last-second ace in the hole.
I've waited a long time for this moment. Now destiny has rewarded my patience.
In Toguro's case, it's unleashing 100% of his latent power, wherein he mutates his body into what might be one of the most unsettling things that Yoshihiro Togashi has ever created. Hulky, deformed, layered with disgusting muscle, the sight alone is enough to freeze Yusuke in his tracks. But then there's also the fact that Toguro also slaughtered the majority of the demon audience with his excess energy alone. Number 15, Gao Gaiga Final Fusion, the King of Braves, Gao Gaiga. 8 series in, the Brave franchise constructed its best looking mechs yet, and that's a high bar. But just look at Gao Gaiga's ultimate form, and try to say it's not sublime. After an iconic call to arms, the Final Fusion combines a jet, a drill, a train, and a life-sized robot into a mech capable of shattering both villains and fan expectations. The way all the high-tech pieces seamlessly slide together is satisfying in a way only the best kind of animation can pull off. Even though Guy activates this so-called final form in just about every single episode, it's impossible for Gao Gaiga to ever overstay its welcome. Number 14, Cars, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Battle Tendency. It's pretty self-absorbed to call yourself the ultimate life form, but somehow, Kaz's shiny transformation totally lives up to the name. The animation itself is something to behold. It's an insane rainbow-colored light show that makes it clear this isn't your average anime power-up. Then, with the power of all life at his fingertips, Kaz makes a squirrel. Said squirrel then proceeds to destroy the entire Nazi regime. If the colourful surge of energy didn't catch your eye, Kaz's newfound strength definitely will. We don't say this lightly, but it really might be the ultimate transformation. Number 13, Cure Celine. Star Twinkle PreCure. Oh, and you thought magical girl transformations couldn't get more whimsical. Well, say hello to the new generation, where all bets are off. After gaining access to her very own star color pendant and pen, Madoka gains the power to turn into Cure Celine to assist her fellow princesses in the battle against the Knot Raiders. That is, after she completes a transformation sequence that is utterly dazzling. The animation is beautiful to behold. She sings her heart out, literally draws her own costume, creates blinding shapes, to the point where, by the end, you feel like you've watched a whole idol performance. Number 12, Takuto Tsunashi, Star Driver. Move over, you slack-jawed, unfabulous anime protagonists, because here comes the galactic pretty boy. When one imagines a mech pilot, you'd expect to see a grizzled veteran or a wide-eyed child in control of an engine of pure destruction. Not Takuto, who ramps up the glitz and glamour to such a degree that you're honestly blindsided at how he could make something so flamboyant look so badass. Just look at that hair. Though, to be honest, when you're piloting something as slick as the Talburn, everything looks 10 times cooler. Number 11, Sosuke Aizen, Bleach. While it would ultimately prove totally useless against Ichigo and his final Getsuga Tensho, there's no denying that Aizen's fourth form was pretty slick. Further merging himself with the Hogyoku, the traitor Shinigami ascended to a being that wasn't so much all-powered mullet man as it was Butterfly of Death, complete with horrific living wings and a monstrous maw that split his original face in half. It's the best kind of final boss material. We just wish he had got to show it off in all its foul glory before getting wrecked. Number 10, Ryuko and Satsuki, Kill la Kill. They've tried to slice each other to ribbons countless times via their respective kamui in all their spectacular turbocharged erotic-esque glory. What makes this one so special? Because unlike before, these long-lost sisters have got each other's back. Following on from the reveal of their twisted parental heritage, Ryuko and Satsuki cast aside their previous rivalry and leap into battle together to defeat their wicked mother and the primordial life fiber, but not before simultaneously kickstarting Senketsu and Junketsu into action. Number 9, Omnimon, Digimon the Movie. This is the scene that made all Digi-freaks in the cinema lose their minds.
I feel them.
Surrounded by 1,000,000 copies of Diaboromon, it appears that both War Greymon and Metal Garurumon are moments from getting deleted, until they find their spirits renewed via the most powerful force in the universe, the internet.
Metal Garurumon! They digivolve together to become
Omnimon!
Imbued by the hope shown through countless emails, the two unleash the very first fusion digivolution, becoming a mega level capable of purging the world's biggest virus with nothing more than a sword and a cannon.
Connection terminated.
Number 8, Alucard, Hellsing Ultimate.
私はヘルメスの鳥。
Before we get to the nitty-gritty, we have to preface this form with some lore. Alucard, being the almighty vampire he is, needs barriers on his powers to stop him from going berserk on all of humankind. But when he finally reaches level 0 and goes full throttle, well, the results look something like this. Alucard summons forth so many demonic familiars, you probably can't even pick him out of the crowd.
Dracula!
But he's there, ruling the undead army with an iron fist and bloodied fangs. In terms of brutality, level 0 is number 1. Number 7, Panty Stocking with garter belts. Deviously divine and devoted to their desperate cause to dispense deliciously decadent justice against those devoid of humanity, all in the hope of buying their way back into heaven. They basically slay ghosts with their unmentionables before heading out for a quick romp and some dessert.
Let's rock!
Of course, when it comes time to do some angel busting, these sisters need to get into character, where not only do they perform anime's most lethal striptease, but also get a massive boost in animation quality, going from Powerpuff Girls to Powerpuff Mamas in the blink of an eye. Number 6, Gon, Hunter x Hunter. When a good soul is willing to exchange all they have just for the strength to kill, you'd better start running.
もうこれで終わってもいい
Broken by the revelation that Pito had lied about reviving Kite, Gon gives in to the despair inside and decides that it's time to skin this kitty. Exchanging his very life force for the power needed to exterminate the Royal Guard, Gon's Nen explodes, forcibly aging his body to the point where he is on par with the Chimera Ant. It's as astounding as it is horrifying, especially as his shrouded form screams bloody murder. No surprise Pito didn't last long after this. Number 5, Naruto Uzumaki. Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Eight tails, 9 tails, whatever. Baryon mode is everything Kurama has, all tied into one epic new chakra mode for everyone's favorite knuckle-headed ninja. Firstly, it comes with a cape. And second, it gives Naruto more power than he's ever had before.
来いよ大筒本気の覚悟ってば見せてやる
The animation doesn't hold back on the spectacle of such a grand transformation, and unfortunately for Ishiki, that means one hell of a dramatic knockout. While Baryon mode does come with a heavy, life-draining price tag, there's no denying that Kurama's last act was truly one of a kind. Number 4, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann. Sometimes bigger really does mean better, especially if your final battle consists of two galaxy-sized robots duking it out for the fate of all life in the universe.
てめえの決めた道をてめえのやり方で貫き通す。それが俺たち大グレンダンだ。
After saving his beloved Nia from the anti-spiral, Simon and the rest of Team Daiguren channeled their spiral power to such a degree that all of their various gunmen fused together, reaching such gargantuan size that they tower over the stars, and are all set to drill through anything and everything to achieve victory. Leave your brain at the doorstep and just enjoy the magnificence of mecha machismo at its best. Number 3. Monkey D. Luffy, One Piece. The wannabe king of the pirates has powered up a lot over the years, to the point you'd have to wonder how much further he can stretch his rubber limbs. But 1,000 episodes in, Luffy shifted gears for a 5th time, and sent the internet into a frenzied tailspin. Gear 5th's inaugural fight crashed just about every anime site in existence. And for good reason. Its fluffy design and bouncy powers made for a brawl like we'd never seen before, and may not ever again. Luffy's suit-up shot for the stars and landed among the clouds of anime greatness. Number 2, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon. We'll take your typical magical girl transformation and raise you some moon prism power. The architect of all shoujo superheroines everywhere, Sailor Moon, along with her fellow Sailor Senshi, are arbiters when it comes to putting the glam into morphing sequences, with Usagi literally lighting up the screen as she accesses her signature natural satellite, along with her accompanying tiara, nails, and short skirts. It's so over the top, yet brimming with the same exuberance that fans adore the franchise for, making every pre-battle costume montage a feast for the eyes.
And now, in the name of the moon, I'll punish you!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Goku, Dragon Ball Z.
And this, what's he doing? Is to go even further beyond!
There's been no shortage of incredible moments where Goku attains a new level of power, often complete with a new hairstyle. But for this list, we'll have to go with the time Goku revealed Super Saiyan 3 for the first time. Everything from the dramatic music to Goku's most imposing scream to date solidifies this as one of the most memorable scenes in Dragon Ball Z. There's just no beating that many hair spikes.
I'm sorry that took so much longer than the others, but I haven't had much occasion to practice this one. This is what I call a Super Saiyan 3.
Be honest, which of these power-up roars have you tried for yourself? Let us know in those comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.